People typically think that all you have to do is issue orders and people will immediately comply. But I can tell you they're going to comply at a different level of enthusiasm depending on how that order is issued.
Retired Major General Craig Whelden.
We get to have Major General retired Craig Whelden on the show.
We have with us Major General Craig Whelden, who spent 30 years in the U.S. Army, followed by 7 in the private sector and another 9 as a member of the Senior Executive Service.
After 4 decades of working with some of the very best military leaders in the world, I've learned what truly great leadership is. It's an art, grown out of a combination of innate skills and world-class training.
The relationship that you have with your clients is special, and it's really the first thing that is important to you. So you can talk to a 6-year-old or a 60-year-old, you can talk to a Republican or a Democrat. It doesn't matter who you're talking to. If you have a central message and you want to communicate to them, you just need to understand that you need to talk to them in terms that they understand.
Ernest Hemingway once said that the best way you can learn if you can trust someone is to trust them. If you put that trust in place at the very beginning, you're probably going to get the best possible results.
I once worked for a 3-star general.
Never raised his voice in anger. Very, very bright, very, very capable. And a colonel came up to me one time and he said, "You know, General so-and-so is the toughest guy I have ever worked for." And I thought, really? Why is that?
He said, "Because I never wanted to disappoint him."
And that spoke volumes about inspiring people to be their best. And I thought, boy, if I can inspire people like that, then I'm doing fine.
Great leaders don't patent their behavior. They freely pass them on. I teach in my presentations that your greatest legacy should be that you passed on the best-of-breed leadership techniques that you've learned from others. That's my passion, and that's my mission.
So as you see these things, the things that you like, pick up those rocks, those metaphorical rocks, and put them in your rucksack. As you see things that you don't like, and you don't want to be like that, pick those rocks up too, and put those in your rucksack. Because as you continue to advance in your career and move to the next level, you want to remind yourself of the things that you saw that were really, really good, and you want to remind yourself not to do the things that were not so good. You grab the second handle and your feet are still on the ground. Still not very difficult. But as you continue to climb up that ladder, the rungs get further apart, the air gets thinner because you're getting higher, and you get tired because you've been climbing. And eventually you're going to get to the last rung on your ladder. Find another ladder to climb. And it shaped my career in such a way that I went in a completely different direction than I otherwise would have. At the time, I didn't think that was a very good thing. It turned out to be the perfect job for me. I cannot imagine life having turned out differently. And he pulls out this jar and he puts it on top of the table. It's a large glass jar. And he pulls out a basket of rocks and he starts putting the rocks in the jar, one at a time, until the jar fills up. And then he turns to the class and he says, "Is the jar full?" And everybody goes, yep, jar's full. So he then reaches out and he gets a bag of sand and he pours the sand into the jar. And the sand granules go down amongst the rocks until they eventually fill the jar up. And he says to the class, "Is the jar full?" And they go, "Well, you fooled us the first time, but yeah, now it's full." You need to prioritize your life.
I think the greatest legacy you can leave is to pass on to the next generation what you have learned. To take what you've learned in this course and what you learn on the job, in your job, and help those that are coming behind you. Because someday, like me, you're going to be in a rocking chair, drooling out of a cup maybe, and somebody else is going to be there keeping this country great as a civil servant or a military member. All of you need to lead a purposeful life. All of you need to take what you've learned over the past 8 or 9 months, use it for the good of the country, for your organization, and then pay it forward. Thank you.